What if I told you that a country with no standardized tests, minimal homework, and the shortest school days in the developed world has created one of the most economically competitive education systems on the planet? Finland has turned everything we think we know about education completely upside down, and the results are absolutely mind-blowing. While other nations are cramming students into overcrowded classrooms and drowning them in standardized assessments, Finland is quietly producing some of the most innovative, productive, and economically valuable workers in the world. This isn't just about test scores or feel-good education stories. This is about cold, hard economic data that shows how Finland's radical approach to learning has become a massive economic engine worth billions of dollars. Let's start with something that will shock you. Finland spends less per student than the United States, has shorter school years than most European countries, and gives students more freedom than almost anywhere else on Earth. Yet somehow they've created a workforce so skilled and innovative that their economic productivity per capita rivals Silicon Valley. How is this even possible? The answer lies in what economists call human capital development, and Finland has cracked the code in ways that most countries haven't even attempted. While other education systems focus on memorizing information and passing tests, Finland has built their entire approach around developing critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills that translate directly into economic value. Here's where it gets really interesting. Finnish students don't take a single standardized test until they're 16 years old. Instead of teaching to the test, Finnish educators focus on developing what they call sisu, which roughly translates to perseverance and resilience. These aren't just nice character traits. They're exactly the qualities that drive entrepreneurship, innovation, and long-term economic growth. The economic impact of this approach is, honestly, staggering. Finland consistently ranks in the top 5 countries globally for innovation indices, and their startup ecosystem punches way above its weight for a country of only 5.5 million people. Companies like Nokia, Rovio, and Supercell didn't emerge from Finland by accident. They're the direct result of an education system that prioritizes creative problem-solving over rote memorization. But here's what most people miss about the Finnish model. It's not just about being nice to students or reducing stress. Every single element of their education system is strategically designed to maximize economic output. Take their approach to teacher quality, for example. Finland requires all teachers to have master's degrees, but more importantly, they only accept the top 10% of university graduates into teaching programs. This creates a cascading effect throughout their economy. When your teachers are among the brightest minds in the country, they're not just delivering curriculum, they're modeling the kind of analytical thinking and intellectual curiosity that becomes embedded in the next generation of workers. Finnish companies report that their employees require significantly less training because they arrive from the education system already equipped with advanced problem-solving capabilities. The economic data backs this up in remarkable ways. Finland's labor productivity has grown consistently faster than the European Union average for the past 2 decades. Their workforce adaptation rate during economic transitions is among the highest in the world. When industries change or new technologies emerge, Finnish workers retool and adapt faster than workers from traditional education systems. Let's talk about something that will blow your mind. Finnish schools have integrated entrepreneurship education from elementary level through university, but not in the way you might expect. Instead of teaching business plans and accounting, they focus on identifying problems and developing innovative solutions. Students spend significant time working on real-world challenges faced by actual Finnish companies. So this approach has actually created what economists call an innovation feedback loop. Students, they get to solve real problems for real companies while they're still in school. Meanwhile, companies benefit by gaining access to fresh perspectives and creative solutions. And when those students graduate, they're leaving with actual business experience and, importantly, networks. The whole economy gains, both from immediate problem solving and from a steady pipeline of workers who are ready to innovate. The numbers here are absolutely incredible. Finland produces more patents per capita than almost any other country in the world. Their research and development spending as a percentage of GDP consistently ranks in the top 3 globally. But here's the kicker: most of this innovation isn't actually coming from massive corporate research labs. It's coming from small teams and individual entrepreneurs, folks who learn to think creatively during their education. Finnish schools also do something that at first sounds counterintuitive, but actually creates massive economic value. They deliberately slow down the pace of learning in the early years. While other countries are pushing academic content earlier and earlier, Finnish children don't even start formal academics until age 7. Instead, they focus on play-based learning and social development. This approach might seem like it would put Finnish students behind, but the economic research shows the exact opposite. Countries that rush early academics tend to produce workers who are good at following instructions, but, struggle with creative problem solving. Finland's delayed academic start creates learners who are more confident, more creative, and more willing to take the intellectual risks that drive innovation. The economic implications extend far beyond individual worker productivity. Finland's education approach has attracted massive foreign investment, specifically because companies know they'll have access to a uniquely skilled workforce. International corporations are establishing research and development centers in Finland, not because of tax incentives or cheap labor, but because of human capital quality. Finland has also solved a problem that plagues many developed economies: brain drain. Instead of their best and brightest leaving for opportunities elsewhere, Finland's education system creates conditions where top talent wants to stay and contribute to the domestic economy. Their university graduates report some of the highest job satisfaction rates in the world, and their retention of highly skilled workers is honestly quite remarkable. The collaborative learning model used in Finnish schools translates directly into workplace advantages. Finnish employees are known internationally for their ability to work effectively in teams, communicate across disciplines, and build consensus around complex problems. These aren't soft skills. They're core competencies that drive productivity in knowledge-based economies. Here's something that will change how you think about education and economics forever. Finland measures educational success not just by individual achievement, but by how well the system reduces inequality. This isn't just social policy, it's brilliant economic strategy. When you minimize the gap between your highest and lowest performers, you maximize the productive capacity of your entire workforce. Other countries tolerate huge achievement gaps and end up with economies where a small percentage of highly skilled workers carry the burden, while large populations remain economically underproductive. Finland's approach creates what economists call broad-based human capital development. Nearly everyone becomes economically productive at high levels. The long-term economic projections for Finland are absolutely fascinating. While many developed countries face challenges with aging populations and productivity slowdowns, Finland's education investments are positioned to drive continued growth for decades. Their emphasis on lifelong learning means their workforce continues developing valuable skills throughout their careers. As we look toward the future, Finland's education model isn't just creating economic success for Finland, it's becoming a template that other countries are desperately trying to replicate. The challenge is that You can't just copy the surface features. The economic benefits come from the deep cultural and systemic changes that Finland has implemented over decades. The lesson for other countries is clear but, well, difficult to implement. If you want long-term economic competitiveness in a knowledge-based global economy, you need to fundamentally rethink education. Finland proves that investing in creativity, critical thinking, and problem-solving creates exponentially more economic value than traditional approaches focused on standardized testing and information retention. What makes this even more remarkable is that Finland achieved these results while making education more humane and, honestly, less stressful for students. They've proven that economic success and student well-being aren't competing goals. They're complementary strategies that reinforce each other in powerful ways. The Finnish education revolution isn't just changing how we think about schools. It's redefining what's possible when you align educational practices with economic realities. As more countries recognize the connection between creative education and economic competitiveness, Finland's approach may well become the blueprint for 21st century prosperity.